Hello everyone. So today's topic is HR management during recession. This topic is quite similar to the previous topic that I covered, that is HRM during volatile times, but it is much different from the previous topic because recession is a whole topic on its own. It can be a volatile situation, but it's very different from a volatile situation. Because recession, we can define it as a situation where your finances are directly getting impacted. The economics of the market is directly getting impacted. The GDP is going in the negative for a consistent period of time. The number of unemployment rates is highly increasing at a rapid growth. So all the positive factors of the economics going in the negative manner, that is basically the recession. So what can HR management team how do or how can the HR management team efficiently handle the human capital during the time of a recession? I'm not going to cover extensively this topic, but as always, I'm planning to cover a couple of points which are crucial if the market is going through recession. So let's dive into it. As always, I'm just going to cover 4 or 5 points. The first point is closely monitoring the market. So market analysis is very important. Always it is important, especially during a recession time, it becomes even more important because as always I said, whatever external changes are happening is going to impact your organization's performance as well. So it is essential that the HR management team is keeping a close watch on the market to ensure that the policies and strategies are in place if there are drastic changes in the market that are going to impact your organization. So this is the first point, close monitoring of the market. Second point is close employee performance monitoring. So we all know that every organization has a performance analysis of the employees, which is conducted maybe half yearly or annually. So you will have to make it a little closer. If your organization has a smaller strength or a medium strength of employees working with you, you can do it even every month. I'm talking about only at the time of recession, okay? It will not be feasible otherwise, I don't think so. So, and I'm not talking about an extensive performance analysis, but in a gist, in a very timid manner, where you are consistently interacting with the employees and analyzing their performances to ensure if there is any dip or to keep them motivated, to ensure that the performance is in par with the requirements of the organization. So conduct a close monitoring of the employee performances by doing a performance analysis on a monthly basis. And if your organization is huge, the employee strength is huge, do a small performance analysis at least once in 2 months to ensure there is a direct interaction of the HR management with the every employee of the organization. If the HR is unable to do, see, it is a time consuming process, but it is an essential process during the times of recession to ensure there is a smooth functioning of the organization. And if the HR is unable to get involved, ask the department heads to conduct a one-to-one communication with the every employee, or at least do a phone analysis. I don't think it will take more than 5 to 10 minutes. I'm sure every HR can do that. So yeah, sure, then put in your feedbacks if you contradict with the statements. All your feedbacks are welcome. Third point is close employee monitoring. Okay, this is different from the second point where I mentioned that close employee performance monitoring, but this point is close employee monitoring. So how this is going to be different is because in employee monitoring, you're actually monitoring for the personal aspects of the employees. When the market is undergoing a recession, it's not only the individual is going to be impacted, the whole market is going to be impacted. So there can be situations where the employees is going through some personal hurdles. The employees, somebody in the family has been laid off or is going through financial crisis, or their children need what do I say, education allowances, additional education allowances because their partner has been laid off. So we don't know what is the personal situation of our employees. To ensure that the HR is aware of the situations of the employees, and to ensure that the employees are in are have what do I say, to ensure that the employees have a smooth what do I say, a smooth point of communication or a path of communication with the HR or the management. Ensure that the employees are actually in a comfortable position to communicate the personal hurdles that they are being faced with the team members. So this is a very significant point to ensure that the smooth functioning of the organization, that there is a close monitoring of the employees on the personal aspects, to ensure that there is a smooth communication channel for the employees and the management or the HR team. Now, the fourth point is for close organization performance monitoring. Organization performance monitoring, we have to ensure that the organization performances are in par with the requirements of the organization. Especially, we have to ensure every organization has a profit and loss criteria, the vision, the mission, the goals, the annual goals, the half yearly goals. All these things are in place, and we have to ensure that the numbers do not run in negatives. We have to ensure that the profit and loss numbers never runs on negatives, and if it is running on negatives, to ensure that the profit and loss numbers are not running in negatives for more than 3 months. So this is very crucial for any organization. HR management need to monitor close organization performances. So along with the employee performances, it is essential that we are monitoring the organization's performances and to watch if the P&L is running on loss or not. So this is the fourth point. Fifth point is risk analysis. We have to be aware of all the risks that the organization may face in case of an extensive recession, which may span for more than 6 months, which may span for more than a year. Then what is the challenges, or what are the challenges the organization is going to face? So these are certain things that the HRM need to be aware of. So do a risk analysis to ensure that what are the foreseen risks in these scenarios, like what to do in case of if the organization runs on negative for more than 3 months. What are the chances of employee layoffs? Will there be salary reductions for the employees? So these are all some factors of the risk that the HR team need to monitor to ensure that during the time of recession, that the employees or the organization does not suffer to a greater extent. There will be some form of suffering, but we are trying to curb the amount of loss, and what do I say, this reduce the amount of stress that is being exerted by the external market on the internal performances of the organization. So do an analysis to ensure that the P&L is not running on negative, and if it runs on negative, how long can the organization sustain? Will there be how can we do an employee retention to ensure that the employees are at a peace? So all these factors need to be considered during the HRM, and make sure that the policies and procedures are in place, the backups are ready. Okay, that's the last point which we are coming to. The sixth and the last point is backup plans are intact. Like what to do if all these risk factors are actually coming to existence, then how is the HR management going to handle the employees? How the organization is going to function in a smooth way to ensure that the ship is sailing smoothly and above the water. So there are certain strategies which generally organizations implement, and it's primarily related to communicating with the suppliers, negotiating with the suppliers, negotiating with looking for credit facilities, ensuring whether the organization is going to retain all the employees or not, Will there be cut down on the resources? Will there be cut down on the services being provided? So what are the factors that we can actually manage to curb the additional financial expenses? So these are some of the factors that can be considered by the HR management team during the tough times, during the recession times where the market is really going through. Uh, it's not under the control of the organization or the management or the HR team as to how the market is going to respond. But these are certain factors that can ensure that we are not impacted to a huge extent. And many a time I do an extensive research on each topic so that I can give at least some relevant points here. In this topic, majorly I'm talking from personal experiences because we had been through a great recession at the time of 2008, 2009, wherein the recession hit our markets at a great extent, and suddenly it almost happened. The market crashed almost overnight, and we had to sustain all our employees. We had to ensure that the employees are retained. None of their salaries were cut, or nobody was laid off. So we ensured that our employees were retained and our organization was able to maintain a profitable business even during the recession phase. So all these points are not only research but also are covered from the personal experiences. So I hope these are useful, and if you have any doubts, any clarifications, any contradictions, please feel free to share, and thank you for your time here. Bye bye.